Well, I know you guys got, a bunch of questions, but there's a couple things I want to address before we get started here. You know, you get so many opportunities here, and I want to make the most of it. But without further ado, I want to congratulate Coach Brom for getting the Purdue job, and I think I'm very proud of him, and I think he's going to do a marvelous job. I loved working with him, loved working for him. Great competitor, and it was a joy every day to coach with him and against him in spring ball, and something he deserves. I'm really proud of him, and I know so are the players. So I want to make sure I gave him the credit that he really deserves. I also want to congratulate our players, okay, for last Saturday's win. I watched the film twice or three times yesterday on both sides of the ball, and our guys competed their tails off. In the third quarter, got a little scary there. We let a big play over our head, should never happen, and then, we fumble a kickoff, and then all of a sudden we're down by a couple points. Our guys didn't falter at all. They did a magnificent job. I thought the coaches did a great job of just keeping the kids in it, and really it was never a question. It kind of reminded me of Southern Miss when they went ahead off a couple interceptions and things like that a year ago, but our guys kept battling, and that's a tribute really to our kids and our assistant coaches, to Jeff, and the fans were great, but it just shows you the competitive spirit of our kids here, and I'm really proud of them, and I told them that yesterday when all this stuff went down. So I just want to make sure I mention that. I'm just so proud of their back-to-back championships. Unbelievable, all the wins that they've done the last couple years. It's just a great thing that they've done, and they're awesome kids. I love these guys here, and we wish them the best. Obviously I'm grateful for Coach Stewart, or Todd Stewart, for giving me this opportunity to be the interim head coach, and I really appreciate it. He has trust in us. I know Jeff gave me a really good recommendation for this, and I really appreciate what Jeff did, but Todd came in and told me, hey, it's my show, and let's go get this thing, let's go win, and whatever comes about will come about, but let's make sure we have a good bowl game, treat the kids right, and let's go get Memphis. So I just want to make sure I say thank you to Todd Stewart for giving me this opportunity, really, to be right up here with you guys and talking to you. Okay, so what's happening now with us? Obviously there's a lot of question marks with going on, when there's a coaching change, and everybody wants to know who's where and what's going on, and I'll just fill you guys in because I think you guys deserve it. All of our coaches right now want to coach in the bowl game. They want to be here. They like it here. So right now, our guys are all out recruiting. Okay, and I'll tell you that, they're busting their butt. I've talked to all of them numerous times yesterday and today, and we're moving on, and all hands on deck, and we're going for this, and we have a great recruiting class going on right now. We don't want to lose any of these guys, and obviously we got to put out some fires. These kids, some of them had committed because of Coach Braun, but some of them, quite frankly, especially on some sides of the ball, don't know them as much as some other people. Or don't know them as much as some other coaches. But our coaches are all over the Southeast. Don Dunn's down in Alabama on some good guys. Dale Williams is also in Alabama doing some home visits. Tony Levine's in Florida. Brian Ellison is in Georgia on some good kids, as well as Chris Barkley's down in Georgia on some running backs. And Jeff Brom, Brian Brom did some home visits yesterday down in Nashville, and he's going to be up in Louisville seeing some guys that have committed to us. So we're competing our tails off right now to have a great recruiting season and just moving this program along, and we want to do things better than they've ever done before. And I think we have that leadership that can get that done. So those guys are all on the road. Reggie's with me in the office. Some of the graduate assistants and the quality control guys are in the office, and we're getting ready for Memphis. I mean, we're getting our work done. Two weeks from today, people, we're playing the Memphis Tigers, so we need to be ready for them because they're a heck of a football team. So that's what those guys are doing now. We'll all be back off the road by Thursday because we have practice practice on Friday and Saturday, and we have a recruiting weekend this weekend with, I believe, 6, 7 kids, some junior college D linemen, a couple of receivers, an offensive lineman, and so we need to get these guys. So we're carrying on like we're going to be here. So our guys are fired up. There is some of our coaches have concerns about what's going on. I don't need to really get into that, but half of our staff, some of them haven't even unpacked their bags they haven't even been here for a year. Because there has been so much, some changeover at Western. And when you're in this profession, that's a lot to ask for these coaches, and they don't know what's going on, and their wives, and so we got to make sure we're really cognizant of what's going on with these assistant coaches and their wives, because they obviously, they have some. Hopefully everybody has an opportunity to do this profession. It's such a great profession, but we got to bear in mind that sometimes this happens, and we got to make sure we take care of all these people, and I know we will. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows, hey, all these coaches are here right now. Obviously, some of these coaches are going to have an opportunity to go with Jeff to Purdue, and that's awesome. But we just want to rest assured that these guys want to be here for the bowl game, and it looks like we're status quo and going to go move forward with like I said, all hands on deck. So as far as the kids, obviously they know what's been going on. Some kids are disappointed, and mostly those are the young kids that haven't really been around the block. But the older kids are fine, and transition is tough, and we just got to love our kids up. And most of them, most of our kids really like their assistant coaches, and they want to know that who's going to be coaching them, who's going to be coaching them in the bowl game, and that's really important. But we're finishing up finals. Obviously, finals gets done on Friday, and we're just making sure that we have all of our kids passing classes and doing what they need to be doing so they're ready for the bowl game, and we have all of our guys there, and we don't want to have any of our kids miss this opportunity of being part of the Boca Raton Bowl. So that's what's going on. Like I said, I just want to tell you that the kids are going to be just fine, and the transition is hard, but we have such great leaders, with the players who you guys will speak with here in a couple minutes when I get done here talking, and you guys can ask them how they're doing, and they can tell you for themselves. You guys are going to obviously ask me who's going to call the plays on offense and what's going to happen right now. Right now, the thought is Brian Ellis, who's our passing coordinator, who does a fantastic job. He knows our offense as well as anybody, if not the best, other than Jeff. He will call the plays, and he will get help from the box like he has been with Brian Brom up there in the box. Brian does a good job seeing coverages and giving suggestions and things like that. So we shouldn't miss a beat. Obviously, we're going to miss that our head coach's expertise, which is phenomenal. But Brian Ellis is more than ready to take the reins. The kids love him. So he's been a quarterback coach. He's a receiver coach. He was our running back coach. And like I said, he knows our offense in and out. So he will be our play caller for the bowl game. And I feel totally comfortable with that, as well as the other guys on the staff, and the players will be just happy with that. So that shouldn't be an issue at all as far as that side of the ball. And I know you guys will have that question for me, so I already answered it for you. So that's what it looks like, in case, and we might, heck, it's only Tuesday, and we might have some transition here. You never know. It's a very fluid and volatile profession we're in, and we realize that. But we're going for it, and we're ready to compete, and we're ready to win this bowl game for our kids and for the Hilltopper family. So, I just wanted to mention all those things. I know that hopefully I answered some of your question. I'm really excited to have this opportunity. It's 4 years really in waiting, and we're ready to go with it, and we're ready to roll, and we're ready to beat Memphis. Give you a little shot of Memphis. They're a big, physical, athletic team. Other than Alabama, probably will be the most talented and athletic team that we have played. So it's a heck of it's going to be a heck of a challenge. Offensively, they're really, really good. Defense, they're good, but offense, they're up and down the field. very similar to our conference, and they're very similar to our offense. They're very well coached, and it's going to be a heck of a football game. I know it's going to be a joy to watch. So anyway, I guess I'll open it up for questions, and I'll try to be as honest and as much as I can say. I mean, I'm obviously going to be honest, but I'll answer whatever you guys need me to do. And I just want to thank Todd again for this opportunity. It's going to be a phenomenal choice.
Met with the team yesterday afternoon?
Yep, we had a team meeting at 10, and half the guys couldn't be there because of finals, and it happened so quick. So we had half of them there at 10, and then we had the rest of all of them there at, I think it was at 2:30. There was a couple guys that still had some tests and things like that missed it, but I've all contacted those kids, and we're ready to roll. Basically what I told you guys, we're happy for Jeff. We're fired up. I mean, kids, this is, sometimes the unfortunate thing of being really good at what your guys are doing. The coaches get accolades. You guys as players get accolades. And when you're really good as a coach, you move forward. And I told the kids, you in life as well as football, two things happen. You either get better or you get worse. And this place keeps getting better. And that's what we want. And that's a tribute to these kids. And some of them haven't, it's the first time for some of these kids, and some of them weren't real, obviously cheering. But I think after we all talked about it, and I know the seniors had talked to the team too. We have such great leadership there, with Forrest and those kids, and Max Halpin and some of the guys on defense. I think they handled it pretty well, but had a good talk with the guys and say, hey, bowl games are fun. This will be my 14th or 15th bowl game, quite honestly, and I love bowl games. They're a lot better when you win. And so that's how I approach these bowl games. We're going to get better. We're going to work, and we're going down there to win this game and make you guys happy.
What sort of interest did you have in a full-time job here?
What sort of interest? Oh, I want this job. Absolutely. And, we got all of our hopefully ducks in the row here, or in line, and we're ready to go. I'll take it today. We got to go.
You think the 4 years you spent here, you know the program just about as well as anyone? Take advantage.
There's no question. There's no question. I've been here longer than anybody, other than, like I said, some of those fifth-year seniors. Max Halpin and Forrest that redshirted the year before we got here. There's nobody on defense that's been here longer than I have. If there's nobody has won as many conference championships in all conferences, big or small, than me, the guy you're looking at right now. There's nobody that has recruited more first-round draft picks and developed more players than the guy you're looking at right now. There's nobody that's ever recruited a Heisman Trophy on our team. I have. So, we have some feather in our cap, and I've never been one to, self-promote like all these other people do in today's, college coaching. But this is a job that's special. And, you guys have been great to me, and it's really our time to take hold of the reins and go for it and make this place better than it even is right now.
Nick, you obviously have a ton of experience. You've been a head coach. On one side, I'm sure that's going to help you here. But at the same time, is this uncharted territory for you because of the transition and the fact you mentioned it, you're trying to win the biggest game of the season?
You know what? I don't think it's uncharted. I've been in the biggest games of them all, and quite honestly, they're all big. But being an interim head coach, I've never been an interim head coach. I've been a head football coach. I've been associate head football coach. I've been a defensive coordinator, and all the places in between, all those great titles that we all give each other. But this is really nothing new for me, quite honestly. I handled most of the half the team anyway, all by myself, and now I get to spend more time with the other half. And I have a great relationship with the offensive coaches. I have a great relationship with the offensive players, and we'll go from there. But I don't feel it as being way out of line that what I've done for the last 31 years, quite honestly. And you're around this profession long enough, you're ready for things, and we're ready for this.
Your last time as head coach was more than a decade ago. How much do you think you've grown and gained experience?
There's no question. Night and day. Night and day. And I was a young, hard-charging coach back then, and really had a great time, and really did. That might have been some of some of the best coaching I have ever done in my career is at University of Idaho. It's such a hard job, and then we had an opportunity to go back to USC to be Pete Carroll's defensive coordinator, which doesn't happen much. And so it was a big transition there. But we recruited some really good players, some NFL players that ended up at Idaho. My first recruiting class ended up going to a bowl game 3 years later under another head coach. So there were some really good things about it. And obviously I was a head coach there 2004, 2005, which is what, 16, how many years ago is that? 11? Or 10 or whatever. I mean, I wasn't a math major, but obviously that's a while ago. And since then, won a lot of games at USC, won a lot of games at Washington, and won a lot of games here. So it's been a good ride.
How much is Pete Carroll's influence on you?
Oh, huge influence on me. I played for him in college at the University of Pacific, and when he got the job at the University of Southern California, he called me to be his linebacker coach, and I was on that plane right away. But he's been a great mentor to me, and he and the other the guy at New England, the best football coaches in the world, and he's tremendous influence on me. Yeah.
You mentioned the play calling, but on the defensive side of the ball, your focus, are you going to tweak anything from now and then?
You know what? There's a couple coaches I might give a little more responsibility to with the day in and day out operations as far as scripting and things like that. But it shouldn't be. It's not going to be that much different. Reggie Johnson, who's our defensive end coach, is coach of linebackers. He'll probably give a little more responsibility doing some things, but. I don't see a big change there as of right now. Obviously, special teams is in good hands with Coach Levine, and he's all in, and he'll do a good job. So, I think all three phases are very, very well taken care of, and I'm really excited for the opportunity our offensive coaches have here in this game. And it's going to be a great opportunity for Brian Ellis as well as Brian Brahma. It's good. I mean, Brian, this is his first year coaching, and, it's a lot to put on his plate. Okay, now you're going to do this. But he's done a fantastic job. I've really enjoyed working with him. I think he's going to be a future star eventually, given more time. But I think he does a good job up in the box. But Brian Ellis knows that better than anybody, and he'll do a great job. I'm excited that he wants to do it too.
Anything else, Coach? All right, Coach, thank you.